You bleed when the white man says bleed. You bite when the white man says bite. And you bark when the white man says bark. I hate to say this about us, but it's true. How you gonna be nonviolent in Mississippi as violent as you were in Korea? How can you justify being nonviolent in Mississippi and Alabama when your churches are being bombed and your little girls are being murdered, and at the same time you're gonna get violent with Hitler and Tojo and somebody else that you don't even know? If violence is wrong in America, violence is wrong abroad. If it's wrong to be violent, defending black women and black children and black babies and black men, then it's wrong for America to draft us and make us violent abroad in defense of her.
In the final 9 minutes of his message to the grassroots speech, Malcolm X points out the hypocrisy in the way black Americans approach resistance to white supremacy. He begins by highlighting that black men are willing to fight and die for America in its wars abroad. Yet, when faced with the violence and oppression of white supremacy at home, they adopt a nonviolent stance. This, Malcolm argues, reflects a misguided understanding of revolution. He critiques the civil rights leaders who encourage black people to love their enemies and avoid confrontation, despite enduring centuries of systematic oppression. For Malcolm, this contradiction is unacceptable, as the violence they are asked to commit abroad should be directed at their true enemies, those who uphold racism in America. Malcolm X then contrasts this passive nonviolent approach with the violent nature of true revolutions throughout history. He explains how revolutions in Algeria, China, and Cuba succeeded because they did not shy away from violence and bloodshed. These revolutionary movements knew that to overthrow their oppressors, they had to be willing to use any means necessary. Malcolm notes that these revolutions also eliminated Uncle Toms, those who sympathized with the oppressors and stood in the way of genuine change. He criticizes the black leadership in America for allowing these Uncle Toms to thrive, as they serve to pacify black resistance rather than encourage meaningful revolution.
The Chinese Revolution, they wanted land. They threw the British out, along with the Uncle Tom Chinese. Yeah, they did. They set a good example. When I was in prison, I read an article, and don't be shocked when I say I was in prison. You still in prison. That's what America means, prison. When I was in prison, I read an article in Life magazine showing a little Chinese girl, 9 years old. Her father was on his hands and knees, and she was pulling the trigger because he was an Uncle Tom Chinaman. Yeah. When they had the revolution over there, they took a whole generation of Uncle Toms, just wiped them out. Yeah. And within 10 years, that little girl became a full-grown woman. No more Toms in China. And today it's one of the toughest, roughest, most feared countries on this earth by the white man, because there are no Uncle Toms over there. Of all our studies, history is best qualified to reward all research. And when you see that you got problems, all you have to do is examine the historic method used all over the world by others who had problems similar to yours. And once you see how they got theirs straight, then you know how you can get yours straight. Please. There's been a revolution, a black revolution going on in Africa. In Kenya, the Mau Mau were revolutionaries. They were the ones who made the word uhuru. They were the ones who brought it to the fore. The Mau Mau, they were revolutionaries. They believed in scorched earth. They knocked everything aside that got in their path. And their revolution also was based on land, a desire for land. In Algeria, the northern part of Africa, a revolution took place. The Algerians were revolutionists. They wanted land. France offered to let them be integrated into France. They told France to hell with France. They wanted some land, not some France. And they engaged in a bloody battle. So I cite these various revolutions, brothers and sisters, to show you, you don't have a peaceful revolution. You don't have a turn the other cheek revolution. There's no such thing as a nonviolent revolution. Only kind of revolution that's nonviolent is the Negro revolution.